Welcome to 99th Monkey Liberty News for Monday, April 7th, 2014. The first article I have today is $6 billion goes missing at State Department. And this article is from the Fiscal Times. And another article about bankers dying. And I'll refer back to this because there is more information concerning this and some of the other links that I have today. This is an article from CNBC. Former top Dutch banker found dead with wife and daughter. And more deaths. CIA official dies in apparent suicide. And this is from the Washington Free Beacon. It was a busy weekend. From Zero Hedge, CEO of Lichtenstein Bank, Frick, murdered in broad daylight. And Fulford wrote, his blog is up, and I will mention it. I have the link. But Fulford talked about these deaths, and his perspective is that these people are being killed because there's supposedly a list of 250 people who can testify against, I forget if it's the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds, and those people are being systematically eliminated, so to speak. There are a lot of blogs up this morning that just happened to come together. And actually this came out yesterday, but I wasn't aware of it until this morning. Divine Cosmos, David Wilcock's blog, he has an article, Flight 370, the straw that breaks the Cabal's back. And there's just information here about 370. Flight 370 could have become the most devastating terrorist attack in recorded history. Could this Boeing 777 or one just like it have been used to murder the leaders of the top 53 nations on Earth? And things are just, it really seems as if some of these issues are coming to a head, and it's almost inevitable that that this is going to break on the world on a broader scale than just us limited truthers. I have not watched these videos yet, but my husband told me that they are very significant, and I have some time blocked out this afternoon to watch them, but I wanted to mention them even though I haven't seen them yet. Jim Willie, Lightning Speed Global Economic Change. And this is 2 parts, and there is also, well, actually this one might be all in 1 part because it's 2 hours. I understand there is an update this morning as well, and there's a wealth of information here. What's happening with the dollar, what's going on between the struggles between the CIA and the Pentagon, and just very interesting things happening. And this is not just, some rumor in a weird truther corner. Ron Paul has, there's this video, Wake Up, the Bank is Empty, full interview. Now this is about, not specifically about the gold being missing from the vaults, but this has to do with, why on earth would we give $1 billion aid package to Ukraine? And Ron Paul explains how Congress's $1 billion aid package to Ukraine will impoverish Ukrainian citizens at the expense of American taxpayers. That would probably be the least of our worries. I have this article from Fritz Springmeier, which he wrote on the first day of what he said was going to be a 2-week hiatus because he has some personal business that he needs to attend to. But this, he felt so pressed that this information was so significant that he made a special point of writing it, even though he had planned to take time off. This is, just really has to do with the reality of the extreme weakness of the American economy and what backs it. Many of my friends have probably known, like myself, that Fort Knox has been empty of gold and that the Fed has been secretly selling America's gold reserves for years. And this is coming to an end. I think this could happen sooner or later, that it becomes public knowledge that it's fully exposed on a world scale. I think it's good that it's happening sooner because there's still something left of us as Americans. They've tried to dumb us down through education and toxins, and they've tried to break our spirits and reduce us to just ridiculous, Dancing with the Stars, watching drones. But we're more than that. And the people around me, I see both younger people and older people very much awake, very much aware, and becoming more so. And I'm a believer in ripping off the Band-Aid. And yeah, there's going to be some pain here making these adjustments. But as I said, I believe there's still something left of us as Americans that we can rebuild from this point. If we get a whole lot more weaker, if they pick a whole lot more meat off our bones, we'll have a much more difficult time recovering. So I'm actually glad to see some of these things coming down, even though it's not going to be a fun ride. We're going to be forced. Even if we have food to eat and gasoline with which to drive our cars, we are going to be forced to take a long, hard look in the mirror. And sometimes that is more frightening than some physical problems that we might have. It's like when Luke Skywalker, Yoda made him go into the cave. And what he faced that was so terrifying was himself. And that's what we have to face. We have to face how weak we have become. And we have to face the fact that we need to repent and rebuild. And I believe that we can and we will. I do want to mention, Fritz posted this on Facebook. And there was a long exchange of comments, and some of the comments were really good. And Fritz wrote a comment in response to a comment someone else wrote. And Fritz in his comment wrote that he believes that the fall of the dollar will occur before the end of Obama's term. Now that's a couple years out. But there's just a sense of urgency about this. I am believing that this is probably going to happen quite soon. And this is Fulford's report to which I referred. He has information about pretty much everything else that I've addressed this morning. This is the free portion and the portion that you don't have to pay for. Typically, within a couple days, there is a video on YouTube that reads out the entire Fulford blog, and this is definitely information that's great to have. Lots of high-level threats and murder taking place as Cabalists turn on each other. High-level Cabalists have begun killing and threatening each other in a sign that their unified, centralized control grid is falling apart. The recent shooting at Fort Hood was an attack against George Bush Sr. and other members of the Bush clan, according to Rothschild and Rockefeller family sources. And he just goes on about the here's the portion that I mentioned. The murder of former ABN AMRO Bank CEO Jan Peter Schmidtmann, his wife and daughter, was a part of an ongoing Rothschild plan to eliminate any people who would testify against them, according to CIA sources. The Rothschilds also believe the Rockefeller family is about to be rounded up and jailed. President Putin thinks the entire Rothschild family needs to be killed in order to end the ongoing financial crisis. I don't know where this will end, as I've kind of joked, but kind of serious before. It would be fine with me if these people were all just rounded up and forced to live in their underground bases for the rest of their lives in total and complete isolation, because obviously they would try to contact people and regain their footholds. That would definitely be a danger. Now, I realize that not everybody believes Fulford has genuine information. I happen to believe that he does, but we'll be watching this. One thing that Fulford does mention in this report is that Taiwan has a means for producing free, limitless energy, and they've promised to deliver one of these energy-producing boxes to Fulford in, I think he said the next week, and he wrote that he would, if it works as they've promised him it will, he will let people know. This article, I'm not absolutely certain that this is genuine, because I've seen this article reposted a few times, but the original was from April 1st. So I can't rule out absolutely the possibility that it is an April Fool's joke, and that's why I did not have this as the good news article today. Wireless electricity to be launched in Bangkok. And as I said, other people have reposted this. This is from the Thai Visa Forum. There is no disclaimer here at the end that fooled you. So it could be real. I'm not absolutely sure. This article seems like it's fairly well written with some pretty extensive details here. So it's possible that this is also happening. Tesla's dream, wireless electricity. From InfoWars, just kind of an interesting article. Gay Mafia attacks free speech, takes out Mozilla CEO. Liberal authoritarianism in action. On Friday, the uber-liberal loudmouth Bill Mayer said there is a gay mafia. It wrecks the careers and reputations of people who do not tote the gay agenda. Again, just another instance of the truth coming out, and people being open about some of these things that have been kept very secret. From Natural News, Chile's caves to medical mafia cancels support for autism awareness efforts. Chile's was going to acknowledge Autism Awareness Week, and evidently they realized that politically that would not be a good move for them, so they decided not to promote this idea. Unfortunately, sad for Chili's, sad for people who like to eat at Chili's. I'm not sure that I have a feeling they probably serve GMOs. Even though the food tastes really good, probably not all that healthy. But this is unfortunate. What's really unfortunate is that the medical mafia wields so much power. And once the global financial system is cleaned up to some extent, we are going to have a lot of work to do in this country, weeding out the evil that's insinuated itself in the FDA, some of these organizations, and returning to true health, true vibrance, to lifestyle that really supports life. From RT, Koch ally to introduce Monsanto-backed bill to bar state GMO labeling laws. Understanding the Bill of Rights, and really the hierarchy, that federal law really does not trump state law according to the Bill of Rights. Any power that the federal government has is derived from the states. And if states want to require GMO labeling, that's not something that the federal government can prevent. And as my final article today, not strictly speaking good news, but just the frame of reference from which we need to see these issues in order to be effective. From the 10th Amendment Center, nullification works. It works. I hope you have recently read the Bill of Rights. When you read the 10th Amendment, you understand that states do not have to bow to federal law, that states have the ability to function somewhat independently. That's why the name of this country is the United States. We are first states. The states are then united. So really the power is derived from the states. So it can be very effective to be involved in your state level, and as many people who work with the 10th Amendment Center are and have been very effective. Thank you for tuning in for today's 99th Monkey Liberty News. These are going to be challenging times, but I believe that we'll have an opportunity to rebuild. And the Bible says that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. We just need to survive the night, endure, and morning will come. Hoping that you will love one another, take care, and help to enforce the Bill of Rights by insisting on liberty.